A lot happened on day 3 here between Australia and India in the World Test Championship final. It started out pretty poor for the Aussies, to be honest, with 3 drop catches, which did really hurt their ability to get India out fairly early. We had a sitter drop by Cam Green, and later in the innings, he definitely got made up for that a little bit with the specky that he pulled off on Ajinkya Rahane. Big thing here is we actually spoke about Rahane needing a massive score. Didn't expect him to come out and do it, obviously pre-game, and he played amazingly well. So we look at him and ending up with that 89. Absolutely pivotal to get them back in a good position, along with Shardul Thakur there with the 51. And obviously, pretty little effort from Yadav and also Shami and Siraj to help them get over the line into that sort of 300, 350 mark. But Thakur was the guy that did get dropped very early on, multiple times. So Australians let India off the hook with that one. If Thakur got out early, I think Rahane only ends up on around that 50 mark. So yeah, for those two, that massive partnership was exactly what India needed to give themselves a chance to get back into this test match and any chance of winning. Australians bowling, I'm very happy with how they bowled. It was just the fielding, as I said. Obviously, the drop catch from Green, they're straight to him, unfortunately. We had the drop catch from Khawaja up top as well, which came quick, but I just don't think he was completely ready. And then Warner's drop catch at first slip, Kerry didn't go for it at all, and then Warner was kind of going away from the ball, trying to catch it one-handed above his head. Wasn't going to be the best way to go about that, unfortunately. So let them off the hook, but then finished off well. I think Australians bowling was great. They just, as I said, dropped those catches, tore it away well off stump just outside, and did a good job. But the fears about Bharat and his ability to score runs in Test cricket at the moment, especially in England against Australia. Very early in, a couple of balls in for Scotty Boland, got him top of off, which was a terrific ball. Well bowled to Scotty in that one. So as I said, the partnership went on. Bowling was pretty solid there, and eventually got them out. So let's have a look at the bowling for the Aussies. Starkey there had 2 for 71 in his 13, so 5.2 economy rate. Did pick up that last wicket, which was good with a nice short ball. Paddy told away. What's with him bowling no balls and getting wickets? He had another LBW shout, which likely would have been out as well. But didn't even go forward with that just because of the no ball. He's had 2 of them now in this match, and that's something that needs to be fixed. It's not good enough. 3 for 83, going at 4 and over. Solid, exactly what you're wanting there. Him to sort of he just continues to do it, doesn't he? That lovely average of in this one, obviously in the mid to high 20s, but overall the 21 test average is incredible as a bowler. Scotty did his absolute best job there, 2 for 59, going at under 3. He was great. Cam Green bowled well also, and shows that he's a genuine 5th bowling option there, which is great. And then for Nathan Lyon to only bowl 4 overs there, I think in that second innings, he's going to be a lot more helpful to this Aussie side. You saw it's only Paddy and Scotty there that bowled big overs, so means that they're going to have enough in the legs in that second innings to be able to come out and do well. If they bowl sort of into the 25s, the 30s there, that's when you obviously worry about how their body's going to pull up. Are they going to have that little bit extra that they need to be able to get wickets against India here? Green and Stark bowling, limited overs really. They'll be pretty fresh and ready to go, which is nice. So, and Lyon will be ready to go to bowl plenty of overs in that second inning. So, hopefully Paddy and Scotty come out well after they get a bit of a rest here while the Aussies bat. Second half of that day, and then hopefully a good portion of day 4 there to give them a good opportunity to come out with fresh legs and get the Indians out for under. My assumption here is that Aussies are going to hopefully get to probably another 100 runs. I think would be pretty fair to say what they could get in this one, and give a nice lead of close to that 400 mark. And I don't think 400 is going to be easy to chase down. I think the Aussies will get them. There's obviously enough time left in this test match. This test match with 2 days to go. So if the Aussies can bat for a session and a half here, that'll at least get them that 100, 115, 120 to be 400 or so ahead, and obviously give themselves a nice lead to be able to get India out as the pitch starts to deteriorate a little bit. So some things to note. A few people asked me to talk about the pitch a little bit. What we saw with Jadeja there, he was the best bowler in this innings for the Indians. And the reason why, guys, is we have obviously a lot of right-handed bowlers. Indians have plenty themselves. So he was able to bowl into that rough there. and get some nice turn and bounce. So that makes it a little bit more difficult for Nathan Lyon to get any kind of usage there. Anytime the right-handers bowl around the wicket, or when Starkey is bowling left arm over, that's going to help out Nathan Lyon. But for the most part, it's going to be right arm over the wicket, which has really helped for Jadeja being a left arm offie. So you see here, that's the biggest thing with England, is just that not a lot is going to change. There's still plenty of bounce in the wicket. You saw a lot of guys get hit on the hands, especially Marner seemed to get he seemed to be punching the ball a bit, and he has that very sharp reaction where he throws his bat to the ground, which is pretty funny. But that's the biggest thing there. There's still a little bit of movement off the deck, still a little bit of bounce in it, and then turn and bounce out of the rough for the spinners. So pitch is still looking okay. It is looking more difficult to bat though, which is only going to get worse into day 4 and into day 5 as well. So let's go through the wickets for the Australians before we finish up this video. Davey Warner started with a little bit of aggression, obviously, with his wicket ball, and I did not like that. It was on a good length, only a little bit outside off. He should not be playing that shot. What he did really well in that first innings was he waited nicely for the correct ball, for that ball to be a little bit shorter and a little bit wider, and then he would flash at it. And I really enjoyed the way he played it that way. This was much too close, and he'd only faced 7 balls by this point, so it was a mistake. Davey Warner needs to wear that. Thank goodness for him that he did score some decent runs in the first innings. I think he can learn from that shot, put that shot away, and wait till it's a little bit wider or a little bit shorter or fuller. It was just in that in-between, both in width and also in the length. So a mistake from Warner there, unfortunately. We go to Uzi Khawaja now, and I am a little bit worried about Uzi at the moment in England. He definitely keeps his spot for next test match, but the quality of his ability to score runs and his spot in this team, I don't think I'm worried about, as I said, but just his ability to score runs is going to be the slight issue heading into the Ashes, because that's 2 innings now where he did not look comfortable at all. In this one, the only time that he looked comfortable were when they bowled short to him. All the other times there, he was playing a missing. He wasn't looking, as I said, comfortable at all, playing a drive and getting into a good position there. And then he eventually, flayed at one. He finally got a ball that was fairly well pitched up. It was still on a bit of a length, so it wasn't completely half volley length, and just wasn't completely there because of the confidence that he's showing at the moment. He was very annoyed when he obviously nicked it and got out, but that's just a combination of him with the confidence that he's showing there and just not being, and the Indians bowling pretty well just outside off there. Is exactly where you need to bowl it, Uzi. Full, just outside off or off stump, and get him driving or get him just flailing the bat out there a little bit and fishing there. And that's exactly what happened in this one. He needs to get back in the nets and, plenty of practice around that mark. And if he can do that, then he'll be a much more confident heading into the Ashes. So not a little bit scared of where Uzi's at the moment, especially here in England. Let's turn to just some masterclass batting from these two guys. And Steve Smith, the 34, he came out looking like he hadn't even got out in that first innings. He was still on 120, it looked like. He came out with force. That back foot punch was incredible for 4 there. To end up at 34 off 47, he slowed down that little bit, but was still very much in control of this one. And when Steve Smith's in this type of mood and middling the ball well and is super confident, he is so difficult to get out. He ended up getting himself out in this one. And Ravi Jadeja, as I said, was the best bowler in this innings. And what he did great there was just bowl in the correct areas and just waiting for Smithy to do something stupid, which he ended up doing so. And just being able to hold that ball back a little bit into being a little bit shorter. And Smith did this in the first innings well. There was one of those plays there where he just decided to just come down the wicket and he got Jadeja well. In this one, Jadeja won. Being able to bowl it that little bit shorter, hold it up a little bit, and just got too much bounce, obviously, with Smithy not being to the ball, and skied it. Just before I go on, I just actually wanted to touch on Rahane, especially. Takora nicked a bunch early and didn't look great, got hit in the arm a few times, and then he ended up playing a bunch of good shots. That straight drive he played was incredible. But Rahane, just his ability to play the ball late, open the face, and then pick gaps was really, really good. So for those Indian fans watching, I think he batted amazing before he did get out to that absolute screamer from Greeny. But Smithy looking great. Super excited to see how he's going to go in the Ashes. Unfortunately, got himself out in this one. He'll be very disappointed in himself, but obviously trying to push the game forward. And especially with Marnus taking his time a little bit, not struggling, but just not getting many opportunities to score. Smithy was amazing. Let's talk about Travis Head's wicket, and Ravi Jadeja completely got him here. He absolutely worked him over. You see a lot of times there, as I said, bowling into that rough, especially to the left-hander, which we have a lot of, was going to work out really, really good. And I think Jadeja, with Carey to come, obviously Marnus and Cameron Green, the right-handers, it's not going to be as easy to bowl to them, but with a few lefties to come in, Starkey and Carey, I think Jadeja will probably end up with 3 or 4 here in this innings. But yeah, as I said, he completely worked Head over, bowling into that rough there. Head was trying to play some cover drives there, and obviously that's very, very difficult to do. You could hear Ponting, speaking in commentary there, just saying it was absolutely, it looked flummoxed when he got out, that he tried to hit the cover drive and ended up going back to the bowler. But that's exactly what happens when there's turn and bounce. You're going to get high in the bat. You're going to get it, getting the inside part of your bat when you're trying to play that cover drive, unless you're right to the half volley or the full there. Most of the time it's going to end up, popping up or going back to the bowler. And that's exactly what happened there. Head did decide to play a slog sweep on one of them, which was the right play to the leg side. Obviously didn't have to go in the air, but he did. And he got dropped on the boundary by Yadav. So, yeah, he just completely worked Head over. He got a 6 from that play, but other than that, he was dominant and got Travis Head out. So I think he'll learn from that. That's obviously a great learning opportunity, heading into the Ashes for sure, that, sometimes you can get bogged down. He is an aggressive type of player. He's got 2 sixes in that 18, but he definitely got him there. Cameron Green looked okay, obviously 7 off 27. Coming in the back end of the day, it was just more about being there at the end than being expansive, and I think he played a much better, bunch of deliveries there for these 27, 7 off 27 there. But Marnus, just some terrific shots, just playing the ball late, doing exactly what he needed in this match, in this innings to get Australia a good lead. And I really hope he comes out tomorrow and goes on with that and gets us, if he can get to a 75, 80 plus, even to 100 would be amazing. Obviously, by then I think we'll be either all out if he's still in, or we'll be declaring, so probably 400 and a little bit, 400 and change ahead there. But Marnus, so good to watch him and Smithy bat. They have been amazing, obviously, over the last bunch of years, and Smith's for longer. But Marnus just a top-tier batter, and so happy to have both of those guys in our side. As I said, with the bowlers there, Jadeja was by far the best. Economy rate, it was obviously much harder going for the Aussies in this innings, and I expect that to be the same for the Indians. Siraj is great at getting that early wicket, but he sort of went for a few runs there. Didn't bowl as well. Thakur there was pretty economical after his, thankfully for him, his right arm's pretty good, because he copped a couple of knocks on that forearm, so still able to bowl well, which is nice. Yadav got a nice wicket there as well. So overall, Shami was hard to hit, and Jadeja was the best of them. So it'll be very interesting to see how this innings plays out for Australia, and then how the Aussies can come out and dominate that 4th innings. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and if you are, please hit subscribe. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining in, and we'll catch you in the day 4 reaction.